Good evening, everybody. I'd like to say that this is the Board of Adjustment meeting for Thursday, the 23rd, 2024. It is now 6 o'clock, and I declare that we do have a quorum. And with that, I'm going to open the meeting, call it to order, and need somebody. Somebody volunteer to do the invocation? Anybody? Thank you. Okay, well, let's stand up and do the invocation, please. Oh.
Donna, say a prayer.
Huh? Donna?
Donna, come on, say a prayer for us.
Heavenly Father, please watch over us all today as Lord, I make adjustments to wherever I'm at and make them make good decisions and guide them as they make their choices and as we look forward, bless everyone in this building. Amen.
Amen. Join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Welcome, everyone. So with that, we have citizen comments. I have a couple of forms that have been, this is for number 2, when we get on item number 2. Huh? Yeah? I know, but hold on. If anybody has citizens' comments that has nothing to do with any particular one, that's what I was asking for. Okay? And now with that, we're going to go into regular session, and then we're going to consider and take in possible action to approve the minutes from April 25th, 2024, and April 30th, 2024 meetings. Y'all had time to review the minutes. I didn't see any corrections, but I don't know if I missed something.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a first and a second. Kenny first, and what's your name? James Gossett. Second. All in favor? Aye. Is yours? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay. With that, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing. It says application seeks a variance to extend the roof cover beyond the limit of the building and property line required by ordinance. And there she is. Shelby's going to give us an update, and then I guess just give us an update, and I'll get the ones that want to comment on it.
On April 8th, a stop work order was posted and work was stopped by code enforcement as they observed a roof covering being installed without a permit. On April 9th, the owner of the property reached out to the building department regarding the stop work order. The owner of the property was told that the roof cover extends over the setbacks and possible property lines, and staff cannot grant the permission to build across the building line or property line. The owner is requesting a variance to allow the roof cover to remain. The staff recommendation is approval and plans submitted within 30 days.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and, because most of these comments are for agenda item number 2. So, ladies.
This is number 2.
Yes. Diane, would you like to come up, please?
Good evening, Diane McCleister, 97 Dolphin. According to our city ordinance, a variance may be requested for the following reasons. Special circumstances beyond your control exist on the property related to size, shape, topography, surrounding conditions, and/or location. The ordinance denies the property owner the right to extend under comprehensive zoning ordinance to surrounding property owners. Also, strict adherence would cause an unnecessary hardship. This request does not meet any of those standards. The previous ordinance, 155040, was passed 6/4/92 until 1/10/22, stated special requirements for waterfront district, decks may encroach into the front yard area to the water's edge. The area above and below are to be open and unenclosed. They are not covered awnings. This is a covered awning. I am hoping the city will revise the ordinance 155 to include the uncovered decks to the water, and because many of my neighbors would not be able to rebuild their decks if destroyed under the new ordinance. Just because you want to do it doesn't make it right. Starting a project on a weekend with no permits should not be rewarded by giving them a variance. There have been other projects done at this address that were against ordinances and codes. It has been common occurrence in the neighborhood to start a project without permits and then ask for forgiveness if caught. Bad deeds should not be rewarded. What one person does affects the others in the neighborhood. We all don't live alone in there. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Con?
Con McCleister, 97 Dolphin. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
The zoning ordinance mandates setbacks. Other recently built homes in the neighborhood were built to the setback standards. This house received a variance when built. It already extends into these setbacks. Was normally considered a setback at the 25-foot front yard zone or allowance. This roof projection in the front setback is essentially a boathouse roof, and boathouses cannot be attached to the house. That's by ordinance. The roof is already under construction, extends to within 5 feet of the water's edge. One of the reasons encroachment in the front setback is prohibited due to the construction of the bulkhead and the fact that dead men sit 10 feet back under the concrete. If any work has to be done on the bulkhead, everything's got to be removed to get to it. As Diane said, the only structure that's been allowed to go to the water's edge was an uncovered deck up until 2/10/22, when the new zoning version went into effect, was approved. Only boathouses in our neighborhood have roofs that extend to the water, and these are boathouses that are not attached to the house. Most of them sit on a secondary lot. I do have a picture to show. I made a bunch of copies of it. You can see the one boathouse there on the right side, and there's another one all the way at the end of the canal. Both of them sit away from the houses. There are 2 illegally built boathouses in the neighborhood that have been there probably 20 years. I've only been there since 17, so I don't know. But these are illegal because they are built not on the person's property. They're built in the canal, which is owned by somebody else. If they are damaged, they have to be removed. They cannot be rebuilt. The construction of this structure is not permitted and would not have received a permit if properly applied for. Starting construction without a permit and then asking to continue construction is an old axiom that's easier to get forgiveness than permission. We don't go by that. We witnessed the same kind of action when the concrete under the house was poured at 3 a.m., waking the entire neighborhood, and did not get the required flat work inspection prior to the pour. Concrete now covers the entire lot. Not having this roof does not constitute a hardship and should not be allowed. not allowing the structure is the proper answer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next one I have is Gary.
Hey, my name is Gary Gray, live at 99 Dolphin Lane. I just want to make the general comment that I believe in the broken window theory, that if you don't start addressing these small items, then they're ignored and you move up to the next level, and people need to keep by the rules. It's just, it's going to fall apart. I know some people want to enhance their property because they want to stretch it out, they want to put a boathouse, but the reason these rules are in place is because we would like to see the view, we want the canal open. And as was stated, we don't own the canal. That canal was never deeded back to the individual owners. It's now owned by Stuckey Diamonds in New York. It moved with corporations just like furniture. So when Bridge Harbor 2 Development Corp sold off some properties to them, that's who owns it. I researched it in the past. But so we can't build in the canal, and we're responsible for keeping up our bulkheads, and we're also responsible for leaving that section open so that you can have a view down the canal. I mean, people want to be able to see. We want the wind to travel through. If we get into a position where people are building 6-foot fences right up to the water, there's nothing to see anymore. You just kind of trash the view. Anyway, my main comment is we need to stick by the rules, and if we don't like them, change them. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. With that, I do have a, filled out a, oh. You gonna read, you wanna read this, please?
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Go ahead.
We received an email from the owners at 96 Dolphin Lane, the Bachmans. They're unable to attend due to a prior commitment out of town. They are opposed to the request for the variance at 109 Redfish Lane to extend a boat slip roof beyond the limits of the building and property lines. Building and property line restrictions are established for the good of the community. The incomplete work on the boat slip covering, which was started without a building permit, will create an obvious hazard during high wind conditions to the homes in this vicinity. We request the structure be removed prior to the beginning of hurricane season to ensure the safety of the surrounding homes. It is apparent that their windstorm insurance would not cover any damages to surrounding properties due to the substandard design and construction. We request the Board of Adjustments not approve any part of the variance request. We would also hope you would consider having your discussion and decision in public setting rather than closed session for transparency.
Thank you. So with that, does anybody have any questions or any discussion, please?
I want to ask Shelby, what did you think about it, Shelby?
Yes, but they told me he had filled one out just in case we had questions for him.
No, he does not.
Yeah.
Is this on? All right,
Bing, bing,
so
bing. It's not on, is it?
Hello?
Oh, now it is.
Good. So essentially, the applicant has the opportunity here to present his case, and he has the burden to show that there's an unnecessary hardship or some unique characteristic that proves that he should be able to do what he's applying to do. So I think absolutely now is the appropriate time to give the applicant an opportunity to kind of present his case to the board.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. State your name and your address.
My name is Daniel, and
Close to the mic, push it.
My name is Daniel, and I'm 109 Redfish, and I'm the one trying to extend the roof just to keep the water from going inside my boat and creating just more stress into the pilings. Because I built the boat lift attached to the pilings of the home, not just some deck. It's just my house, and if you see the photos, it's not a party deck or nothing like that. It's just to keep the water from going in the boat. And to address the comment him that I did the concrete at 3 a.m., the reason I did that is because it was so many trucks and it was in the middle of the summer. If you do it in the daytime in the middle of the summer, it would, it'd be a disaster, and that cost me $50,000. But anyways, I will make sure that an engineer approves the windproof of whatever is required from me, whatever the city asks of me, architect plans, engineer stamps, to make sure that nothing is dangerous, that everything is up to code. There'll be no problem.
Yes, I see all that information's here was your professional engineer stamp and all your drawings and your architect and so on and so forth.
Yeah, my engineer already was on site, and I met with him, and you have his letter and all that.
Yes, I
And-
do.
And I will have him back out again to make sure that he approves the windproof and everything, the load is correct, make sure that the city officials come out and approve it. If it's not already, I'll make sure that it is. Whatever's asked of me, I'll be more than happy to provide. I just want to protect the $600,000 that I've invested building this home. It's a beautiful home, and, I mean, you can ask anybody to just look at it, you know. I'm not, that's just it. Just want to protect my home.
Does anybody have any comments?
And in fact, I built the boat slip underneath the house because I've heard that the neighbors did not want the boat slip on the water, and I understood where they were coming from, right? Which other people had built them on the water, and but I decided to put it underneath my house, and I already had a permit to do it on the water. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make people happy, and I built it underneath my house, and I attached it to the home of the Pilings, which I think is a mistake, but I'm already there, you know, so. And then also, there's also plenty of homes over there. He said that there's only 2, but there's plenty of homes where the boat deck and the party deck is attached to the house. And one of them is my neighbor that just finished his house about 2.5 years ago from Billy Shoemaker. And there's pictures of all that I've presented to all that, so.
Yeah, I'd like to just briefly read from the engineer that wrote us the letter. It's just bottom line, it says, in my judgment, the roof is needed to prevent the extra load being applied to the house and lift system. There are many houses in the area that have the roof extended to prevent this type of issue. So you wouldn't be unique. I mean, there's other houses out there that.
Yeah, I provided pictures, and
Yes.
and you can see them.
Yeah, I have did y'all see the one with that party deck or something there? That one extends kind of.
Yeah, mine is not a party deck, but no means.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Do y'all have any questions or any concerns or anything, any clarification y'all need from Mr. Arias?
What do you think, Shelby? What's your situation on this?
So from what I can make of the determinations of what he presented me and what we have actually gone out and taken a look at, it is over the setbacks. And as in terms of him getting me the plans, if he plans on getting me the plans within 30 days, I can work with that.
More than happy to do that. Engineer, architect, whatever it takes.
We have one more question in the back. You can sit down, sir. You need to come up to the mic, please, ma'am. Thank you.
Those extensions over in the neighborhood, those are decks, which means when it rains, the water drips down, and they are supported by beams, not little 2x4 things to hold them up. There was no straps put on this thing, so when 100 and some mile-an-hour winds take a hold of it, it's gonna take flight. And it's aimed at our homes. And I know you guys have lived through hurricanes, we have, and we don't want any unsafe structures out there. That's why when I built my deck, we used 10x10s. This is not 10x10s. And all those 2 boathouses out there are illegal. They were both built on weekends 20 years ago. So at this time, if once the 50% is gone, those things cannot be rebuilt. Thank you.
Shelby, does this meet windstorm?
Yes. It's going to require a windstorm, yes, sir. And I'm going to ask for windstorm engineer drawings, yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Any more discussion or any more questions, any concerns? Oh, go ahead, sir, come. We already have one on you.
So the general point is that you're going to break the variance rules because somebody has an engineering report that says what he's building is sound. Does that mean I can build anything I want to and break the rules? I can build it anywhere I want to?
We're not breaking the rules.
The setback variance?
Okay, never mind. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Um,
Right.
In regards to this, it's an undue hardship. From what I can see, if rainwater is actually impeding structurally onto the boat and actually hitting the system as in terms of the structural load, then yes, a variance could be requested as an undue, but.
The-
You can't put a cover on your boat. Thanks.
Any more concerns, any questions, any comments? Come up, please, sir.
The house next door to him that has a boat slip with a deck on top adjoins the house. It is not attached to the house, and neither is the one on the other side. They are not allowed to be attached. In fact, Troy, when he built that house, had trouble with Billy Shoemaker because he had to have it separate. So that's not the case. And you're talking about a boat. A boat does not fill up with water. I got one that sits outside. It rains, it runs out. This is not a hardship. This is a ridiculous argument. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I share these people's concern about being next door, you know, I do.
What do y'all want to do? Do I have a motion or?
I make a motion, it's gonna be to deny the variance.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, have a second. Barry, all in favor?
Of denial?
Oppose? Aye. Motion denied. Okay. So,
Just kind of moving forward.
yes, please.
There's no need to make a motion to deny something. The only thing that matters is actually approving something. So, but I think the message is clear that y'all have not approved the variance tonight.
Okay, so with that being said, is there anything he can do to come back, Shelby, with nope, can't do that?
No, he's going to have to comply with the rules as provided.
Okay. So, I guess we move on to item number 3. See, what is number 3? It says, oops. Where's my agenda? Number 3. Consider and take actions on the detailed plan for the work to be done on the wall at 226 West Park, Freeport, Texas. Also discuss the barrier being used not being in compliance. Do you want to?
Okay, sounds great. Sorry, I'm trying to look like that. Yeah, we're out of order, hang on. Why don't we go through all the flashy stuff? Okay, there it is. I'll just, here, if you don't mind. On October 26th, the Board of Adjustments discussed the current conditions on the wall located at 226 West Park. The board wanted barriers up within 7 days, and within 30 days, the wall repaired. If the wall wasn't repaired, the owner needed to return back in front of the board with a detailed plan. As of 4/25/2024, at the time of the follow-up, the barrier is not in compliance and no repairs have been completed. The information was brought before the BOA and was tabled for a later date. So what we are, staff recommending is that we are needing a clearly defined detail on what the Board of Adjustments wants defined for a barricade or a barrier.
I, for one, I think we were very clear in what we needed him to do, to put up a barricade. Now, this barricade here, it's just, in my personal opinion, it's horrible. Kids can still crawl under there, and it's still unsafe. And he also didn't put the the netting we asked him to do for the falling brick. He didn't do anything. He put this thing here, he calls,
It's like a painter's building. So I did actually reach out to the city of Galveston in regards to what they do to do barriers and what they put in place for their old buildings. And they actually require a sidewalk closure permit, and they require rerouting with barricades through the street so the pedestrians are actually protected as in terms of walking around the dangerous hazard. And they did set a date as in terms of when they have to get it repaired, but that's Galveston County standard. But as in terms of us, if we could set a standard of what we are needing for barrier-wise, from you possibly height, material, or how wide we need it.
and we also understood at the time that he was gonna have to search for the brick, to match and everything, and I get it. I have an old house, and I had to search for some panels to go in my wood floor, but it can be done. You can find that stuff that you need, but we haven't gotten a report whether he's found it or not, or he's looked for it or not. This is the way it's been sitting there for months, and he didn't comply with what we asked him to do.
So would you request him put some netting up like last time, and then actually have him reroute the traffic around with
Absolutely.
barricades?
Because even with this, like I say, we have events downtown, and there's a lot of kids, and now summer's coming around, and that splash pad is just around the corner from here. There's going to be a lot of, children out there, and these kids can crawl right underneath there or walk underneath there if they so desire. Kids are kids.
Yes.
So I don't know what y'all think or how y'all feel about this.
We were real clear of what we wanted him to do in October. Now, the last meeting, when his attorney was here, he lied to us about that. He knew that wasn't filed timely, and we haven't received anything from the counties that he filed an injunction against us or anything. So as far as I'm concerned, he needs to start getting fined back to 30 days after October 26th for not putting up the netting up there.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that.
So I did actually give you guys a picture of an example netting.
Yeah.
Is that what you are actually
Yeah.
requesting? Okay.
Whatever it takes to keep our kids and our public safe, and this is what he's got up there. It's not what we asked him to do.
I think at this point, is there any additional instruction that you would like or add on to the original order at this point?
No, not for me.
Okay.
I think it was very clear. Did you see, Shelby, did you read what we had asked him to do originally? I know Casey was here at the time, but I'm just,
Yes, I have been reached out to as in terms of getting a more clarified definition of you guys of what kind of barrier you guys were
God,
requesting.
okay.
I
So,
think that's an appropriate discussion.
Okay.
As well as additional recommendations about closing the sidewalk.
Okay.
And things like that.
Yes.
so,
I think
We
you
never
can
asked him to put a
supplement your orig-
scaffold up there.
no, we
You know,
didn't ask for
And that's
scaffold.
what he's got is a scaffold with barricade tape, and that's not what we were looking for.
Yeah.
So,
I guess we weren't clear. Go ahead.
I would think the definition of a barrier is something that you can't cross. Right. You can crawl under it, you can crawl through it, you can crawl over it.
Well, it sounds like staff is recommending something akin to what Galveston is requiring
Absolutely.
their folks to do.
Yeah, we've got
So
to-
I think that would be an appropriate motion tonight to have him comply with the sidewalk closing that in kind with what Galveston, City of
Right.
Galveston
So,
requires?
They have the netting, like you have pictured there, and then
Yes.
they actually put the 4-foot barriers with the handrails, guardrails
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
reroute
absolutely.
traffic around.
And-
Is that
and
what you're requesting?
some type of protection for the people that are going around, and
Yeah.
because it's a parking area right there that goes into the
Yes.
street.
Right. And yes,
I think that's fair, but I do think it requires additional action from y'all to kind of supplement your original order to add those conditions.
So do I hear a motion? If somebody would like to make a motion?
We have to close the public hearing.
Huh?
Do
No,
we
you
have to?
don't.
Do we vote on it?
Huh?
she's got close public.
No, we're on item number 3.
I know. Oh, it was a public hearing.
We don't have to close this, we can make a motion here, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In fact,
I thought we had to close the public.
no.
Patty pointed out a time frame would be appropriate too for these additional
Oh,
steps.
yeah, absolutely. So was that, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion
Okay, motion being to do this.
to, set up the barriers with netting and
Set up the barrier with nettings and barriers and protection. The example, I guess we can give him is like Galveston does. Would that be appropriate?
That's appropriate.
You know,
Yes, as staff has recommended, I think the protocol that Galveston has set out for dealing with these type of issues is appropriate in this case. So I think staff's recommendation is that you take action to supplement your original order to add those conditions within a specified
Done.
period of time. I'm not sure how much time.
we've already given him enough time, 30 days. And Mike,
30 days.
I
what do you
think
think?
Any additional conditions, we need to give them additional time.
How much time would
I
be
think 30
appropriate?
days is
Yeah,
plenty.
I mean, he's had a lot of time to think about it also. I mean, I'm sorry, but
Fair enough.
did you get that motion? Did you understand it all?
Right. Set the
Okay.
standards of Galveston
Was,
in 30 days.
About the issue of that he was ordered to repair the law, what do we need to set forth another action?
well, yeah, that's true. He needs to bring a plan or something to show us that he's working on
Was part of the
it.
original order to have the wall actually repaired?
Within
He
30
was
He
supposed
was-
to come back within 30 days with a plan.
An action plan.
Okay.
That's what we had asked him,
And
you know,
then
because
he-
we
I
understand he's
think
gonna
at
have to
this
find.
point, let's take the step to add these additional
Just-
conditions.
and then we'll-
We'll take care of that at the administrative level.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, so do I have all in favor?
I'll second.
Oh, you have, okay, you seconded?
Yeah. he made a
Yes,
motion, I seconded.
Kenny seconded, I'm sorry. All in favor? Aye, opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, so the next one, item number 4 is consider and take, in this one, I'm gonna open the, public hearing, it's number 4. Consider and take possible action on the request to repair or demolition of the unsafe structure at 206 West Park, legal description, Freeport, Block 44, Lot 9, property ID. Shelby, you want to tell us something about what's the discussion on this one?
This property has ongoing code cases since 2023. The initial inspection in 2023, there have been several certified letters sent to the owner. There is a for sale sign posted at the property. The owner listed on there, it was Ransony McDonald. And I went out there with Miss Patty, and we took a look at the structure. There's major stepstone and cracking all around the foundation, and the roof has partially collapsed in the back. So, as in terms of recommendation, we want to either request a repair or a demolition of the unsafe structure. And I'll also request to obtain an engineer report for the structure for the foundation.
I think that's fair. So how much time do we want to give them, guys?
it's a lot of work.
They've already been contacted, correct?
You,
They've had several letters on that structure, and the owners only reached out one time to me, and it's over a year ago, about
and since then, he's done nothing.
Well, they're tearing the one down next to it. I don't see why.
They can demo
They
bo-
can both of them.
Boo, take them all down. No, just kidding, I didn't say that. Well, go ahead, David.
So we recommend demolition. We recommend the demolition.
Okay.
In its current condition.
You really only have
Time.
90 days. That we give them, I mean, the law only allows us 90 days to
Okay.
allow them to do that unless they enter into a voluntary demolition agreement with the city. Otherwise, we're going to do it and assess a lien.
So-
that's kind of your window. Yeah, correct, yes.
Is it gonna be up to the city to make this safe in the meantime?
No, we'll just demolish.
Just right?
Okay,
If y'all choose to move in that direction.
okay, once we demo it, you know, the city, then we put a lien on that property, correct?
Correct.
Good,
I make a motion, we demolish it.
okay,
I'll second.
Time frame?
time frame.
To me, he has an opportunity to demolish within a certain amount of time. If he doesn't, then we go in and demolish.
So what's
So how
a-
much time are you gonna give him to demolish the property?
Give them 90 days.
Give them the 90 days.
Give him the 90 days. Any discussion or any concerns, any comments? With that, we're going to go ahead and close the public hearing, and we've already, the action is to have the city demo, huh?
We got a second, too.
Oh,
He made the motion, I'll second.
Kenny made the, I'm back. Kenny made the motion, then Barry second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
Kenny and, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, guys.